Good afternoon. This is the final vlog of 2017, and as I record this in the House of Commons, just sort of a couple hundred metres from here, they are discussing the last couple of hours worth of amendments and new clauses to the European Withdrawal Bill. This has been a very long process in the House of Commons. This is the 8th day on which these amendments have been debated. Hundreds of amendments and new clauses have been tabled, and by the end of tonight it will be done, and we'll just have sort of the remaining stages of that bill to pass in the new year. Everybody will have different views. Those people who have been paying attention to what's been going on with all of these amendments will have different views on whether they are a good thing or a bad thing, but I think that anybody who has tried to say that Parliament is not getting its say in Brexit is just wrong. We are into the 64th hour of the committee stage alone, and that's after 2 days of debate at second reading, with more debate to come at the report stage and third reading in the new year. And by the end of tonight we'll have had a full 64 hours of debate in the committee stage alone. Now, that has not always been comfortable viewing if you are a hardcore Remainer or a hardcore Leaver, but that is Parliament doing what Parliament must. And I think one of the things that's been most disappointing perhaps over the last few weeks is to see how, as colleagues on both sides of the debate, MPs who feel very, very passionately that we should be leaving the European Union, and those who feel very passionately that we should be seeking to remain, or at least to minimise the impact of Brexit, those are people who have just been doing their jobs. They have been expressing their views, sometimes on behalf of their constituents, sometimes at odds with the views of their constituents, but because they believe very passionately in what it is that they are saying. And I think one of the really sad things about the last couple of weeks has been to see colleagues who have been getting an awful lot of flack from the most extreme Remainers or the most extreme Leavers out there in the public, who have on social media or by email written the most hateful things about those people who have just been doing their job. By the way, it's not just members of the public. Our national press on both sides of the debate have found it very hard to find the right tone too. I hope that maybe if you are a hardcore Brexiteer or a hardcore Remainer, you might make it your New Year's resolution to perhaps contribute to the debate in a slightly more gentle and reasonable way, because Parliament, I think, is demonstrating that it's doing its job right now. It's scrutinising the process and delivering a Brexit that will work for the United Kingdom. There's, in other stuff, there's been lots going on, but the thing that was announced today in Parliament that will have the most impact in Somerset is the universal service obligation. Which is to make sure that all homes who currently have broadband slower than 10 megabits per second have a right to a connection of 10 megabits per second or better as their broadband speed. The government has charged BT with that. There's a lot more detail to follow, which I will endeavour to get to the communities in Somerset that I know to still be suffering from the worst broadband. But that is, I think, the next step after sort of delivering super fast of 26 megabits per second to as many people as possible. That universal service obligation that raises the absolute minimum standard, I think, is probably the best next step, and I'm pleased the government's announced that today. Finally, I just wanted to reflect on this amazing time of year. It's been a pleasure over the last couple of weeks to go to so many amazing events back in Somerset as people have been getting ready for Christmas. We really are very fortunate to have so many people willing to give up their time to organise so much in our community at this time of year. Last week I also dropped in on the Burnham-on-Sea sorting office for the Royal Mail to see the hundreds of thousands of items that were going through that sorting office on their way to people in the Burnham area. But I know that at sorting offices across the constituency there will be lots of postmen and women working equally hard to get us everything in time. And of course, next Monday, whilst we are all enjoying our Christmas dinners, there will be police, fire, ambulance, doctors, nurses, carers, and all sorts of other people who are working to keep us safe, well and healthy over the Christmas period. So let's just make sure we say thank you to them and that we maybe think about their hard work whilst we're enjoying our time off. And with that, I will wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and I look forward to serving on as your MP in 2018.